Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. We are at the temple at the moment. This is the roof of the building. We came 3 days ago, my wife and our son, so we're here with the Matajis. And it is the summer vacation, so that means I don't have to work for about 2 months. So I have this desire to try and arrange some preaching activities. So since we came back, I've tried to put myself back into the preaching mode. That means day in, day out, just try to push this movement forward, try to preach as much as possible. Like 2 days ago, I gave 4 classes. It was the disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So I gave the morning class, then I gave class at noon for the disappearance day of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Then I gave the evening class, and I also had another class that I did online. Anyway, so in this way I'm trying to push and motivate myself to try to push this thing in China here. You can see the sun is rising in the back here. It's been one of the clearest years since I've been living in China now about 12 years. This year has been one of the clearest year. We can see very far, you see. Normally there's pollution, but now we can see very, very far. This is the downtown of Guangzhou City. This kind of sky and this kind of clear air is very rare in China, but this year we've been getting so much of it. So I don't know if it's related to the COVID, Anyway. So to keep myself motivated, I kind of run on an overdrive at the moment, and whatever minutes I get, I try to do something useful, contact some devotees, send some quotes, get some ideas on future videos, do some video editing. So because I'm the only Prabhu here, and I'm the only devotee who we can say has got the desire to preach. Even my wife, she is not 100% in that mood also. Although she wants to support, she has got doubts, because as grihastas we need to have some income, and I would like to become full-time, meaning no more work. So I have faith that if I would surrender to Krishna, why would he not support us? Why would he not maintain us so that I can devote myself completely to the preaching mission? So I have faith, but how will this come about? That's another thing, So I have to do some endeavor on that, towards that direction. And of course, women generally, they're always feeling insecure, So for a husband to bring security to the wife is one of the main duty. So she wants some steady income. She wants some security, to be some knowledge to know that okay, every month something's going to come in, So then that's what I'm trying to find at the moment. How can I make this happen? And personally, preaching life is really what that's my call. This is what I want to be doing, because for those of you who've been following for some time, you know that some 2-3 years ago we opened that temple in Henan province, and it went well. There was some great adventures that we had there, but then I fell sick, got tuberculosis. I had to close everything down and come back here, and since then I've been working. At the beginning I was working quite a lot, trying to make a lot of money, and that really just it wasn't nice, you can feel the contamination. So I reduced that to 3 hours a day, and even this, it's why work hard like an ass when by preaching you can get the maintenance. That's the thing, So the whole problem is the desire for anarthas, things that are unwanted. Actually, what we require to maintain the body is very simple. It's some food and some shelter. That's all. So these are simple things. But when we have desire for more, buying a house, buying this, buying that, this is when all the trouble comes in. Actually, buying a house is also not necessary. This is a mentality of I will bring security upon myself by having a permanent residence. But what is permanent in this material world? There's no such thing. And one might think, well, at least I will have bought something for my children. But what is the guarantee that your children will benefit from this? Many times we see there's some things that happen, the house has to be sold, or one has to move, or the future is not within our control. The real shelter is the Lord. He's the one who's going to be giving us shelter. So I'm realizing more and more that to be a Brahmana is not cheap. It's not a cheap thing. To realize that the transcendental arrangement of the Lord, that He will maintain His devotees, is not easily realized. And it's not because we're wearing tilak and chanting on our beads that we are on that platform yet of being a bona fide Brahmana. Prabhupada said that without expanding his field of activities, one cannot be a bona fide Brahmana. What does that mean? That means without thinking of other people's welfare outside one's own family, one cannot be called a bona fide Brahmana. To simply think that my wife be okay spiritually and materially, my children, that is not the mood of a Brahminical personality, because the Brahmana is supposed to be the spiritual master of the other orders of social orders. So that takes some mood of surrender, and that's not easy to accomplish. I can feel it. My spiritual life has been like a roller coaster, since I begun chanting Hare Krishna. I've never been on on a steady platform, on a secure platform. It's always been ups and downs, and I can feel how, and that's not because devotional service is not working. That's mainly because I did not get proper training, maybe I would say, or I did not keep in contact enough with fixed up devotees like His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu. The training that I got in Singapore was only a few months, altogether maybe like 3 or 4 months. So that was not enough. I can feel that, and I was not ready to tackle the Grihastha ashram. So I had to continue my training in the Grihastha ashram, because when one is a brahmachari or one is not married, he has to deal with his own mind. That's already a tough job. The mind is, very flickering. But when he gets married, he has to deal with two minds, because women generally, they cannot handle their mind. They cannot take care of their mind. That's why the doubts are always there, the fears there, the insecurity is always there. So they need someone who is grounded on earth, and who analyzes things by knowledge, by intelligence, instead of by emotions. So that requires a good spiritual standing and spiritual understanding and strong sadhana in order to be able to guide a woman. Because if one is not even capable of taking care of one's own mind, how about two minds and a woman mind on top of that? That's going to bring him down, So that was one of the reasons also there was always ups and downs in my spiritual life. But somehow or other, through the struggles, I feel that it is still working. This purification is taking place. I know that I've advanced spiritually. I can look at myself a year back, or 2 years back, 3 years back. There's some steady progress there. But this is why we should be seeking the association of fixed up devotees, strong devotees, so that we can be protected from this roller coaster ride. Somehow or other, I'm always been pretty much alone. Of course, I would go to Singapore once in a while and I would come back, but as far as I'm concerned, here in China, I have no one to go to. I have Sundar Gopal Prabhu that I can call, but physically present here to support me, there's nobody, because there's no other Prabhu. Well, there's one Prabhu, Vasudev Prabhu, but he's 70 years old almost, and he's not in the standard behavior of Vaishnavas, So I'm alone here, and all others are Matajis. So to try to motivate them to start the preaching again and restart the machine, that is a tough job, because one can easily get affected by their negativity or their I would rather say their lack of faith, because the whole spiritual ladder is based on one's faith in Guru and Krishna. So on their words, having faith in the, again, Prabhupada so many times, why work hard like an ass when Krishna is maintaining millions of elephants and all the trees and birds and beasts? So why work hard like an ass? So someone who has got faith will think that why I'm working 8 hours a day like an ass, instead of simply surrendering my life and trying to preach, and the Lord will maintain me. So you see, so it's all based on faith. If you accept that, then yeah, okay, well, if Krishna will maintain me, then why am I working? So that's it. So now I'm trying to implement that faith, to enter into the realm of this faith of understanding that Krishna is the maintainer. Eko bahunam yo vividadati kaman. Yeah. So the one eternal is maintaining the other eternals. So if we have faith in this, then there's no need of working so hard. Now, how is he going to maintain us? That we should not be too worried about this, because how much can we understand? What are the limits of our intelligence? How can we know the arrangements of the Lord? It's not possible. So now that I'm trying to come to this level of surrender, I can feel that my wife is having some trouble, and I'm not blaming her. But that brings a level of tolerance and patience that I need to match in order to be able to deal with her and give her the security that she needs and the care that she needs, so that she doesn't think that, okay, now I'm becoming a preacher, I won't care for her and I won't care for my son anymore. That's something also that she feels, which is not true at all. So that's it, just a little updates of what is happening here. And now I've contacted one Prabhu who lives here in Guangzhou. His name is Tom. He's Indian. He lives in the Indian community here in Guangzhou, and we would like to organize a program with them. I've contacted him yesterday and told him to arrange for this coming weekend or next one, so that there's be some engagement. So the Matajis, they need to be engaged in some preaching activities that will bring back their life, because to truly feel devotional life, what is Krishna consciousness, one has to be a preacher. There's no other way around it. I know for myself, you see, for those of you who've been following, I follow some strict deity worship at home. You've seen that. I'm trying my best to do it as nice as possible, but still it's not enough. It's compulsory though. For grihastas who live far from the temple, they should all have deities at home and worship them. But that is not the end. One at one point has to know how to do good to others, not just think of one's own welfare, but to think of others' welfare. And that is the alignment of desire. That is when one comes really under the control of the spiritual master and Krishna, because that is the order. I forgot the Sanskrit. Yare deka tare kara Krishna upadesh, right? Amara Jnana Guru. So I'm sorry, I don't remember, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you make your life perfect, you become a bona fide Vaishnava, and after that you become Guru and you deliver others. And it's the same thing that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in a more indirect way. He says that for one who explains this secret to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he comes back to me. No one is more dear to me than he. So he's telling you, if you want to be the dearest person to me, then you must preach. So Krishna said that, and then he came back as his devotee Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's saying that. Then Prabhupada is saying that. Where's the choice of, how can I say? There's no second choice, Of course, Prabhupada did downgrade the preaching for those who cannot do, because after all, there will always be three kinds of devotees, and it's not that those who are less surrendered should be neglected. They all should also be engaged, and their engagement should be deity worship. But my calling is definitely as a preacher. I can feel it. So please pray for me that I'll have the strength to motivate the Matajis and to keep myself motivated in the circumstances that we are, and that I'll get some ideas. I have some good ideas. You can see behind. So this is the downtown Guangzhou, and here you can see there's a mountain there. So south of that mountain, of course from here it's hard to understand, but south of that mountain here on this side is a neighborhood where there's a lot of Buddhist people. There's a lot of Buddhist temples there and Buddhist shops. So I've never been there, but I've seen on the map. I was typing, you know, Buddhist temple, and I see that there's some big Buddhist temple there, and yeah, so many shops. So I would like to go there and try to preach, just approach some people that seems to be inclined to Buddhism, and then just talk about Krishna, you know, that Buddha is an incarnation of Krishna, and so on. I would like also to prepare some pamphlet or a little booklet that speaks about that, you know, Krishna and Buddha, and try my luck over there. So that's another idea that I got. So please bless me that I will be capable of doing a little something, and that I will be able to surrender more and more. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.